If you've spent the last decade putting yourself on the back burner, so have I. And enough is enough. Welcome to my new series where we help each other exit our flop era. We are so back, baby. For me personally, I have been in the trenches of motherhood for the last 13 years, completely losing myself. Yes, I did the whole cliche, losing myself to motherhood. Fast forward about 5 years ago, my kids are getting older, my kids are going to school, and I'm left with the reality that I have let myself go. So if you found yourself on this path where you have not put yourself as a priority, you have let yourself go, we are going to make a game plan and we're going to help each other out here to exit this flop era, because 2025 is going to be our year. I'm telling you right now. This episode is going to be a overview of my plan and the things that I want to change right now and the things that I know that I need to do to make my comeback. Then I'm going to follow up with more episodes on each specific category to show you what I'm doing more in depth. I just want to preface this by saying that this might seem a lot, and everyone is at a different place in their journey. Most of these things I have been working on for years, but for one reason or another, I've let things go or I haven't been able to keep on top of things. And I just want to get to a place where all these categories are working together at the same time, so I feel like I am on top of everything versus doing well in one area, but really struggling in another area. I mean, there's always going to be parts of my life that I know it's not going to be 100%, but for the most part, I want to get to a place where I feel like I'm thriving and I'm successful in the things that I value and prioritize. One area I have always struggled very much in is housekeeping and keeping my house clean and getting people in my family involved with chores and cleaning schedules. That has just not been something I've been very good at. So I went ahead and did a full house reset this last weekend so it can be at a place where it doesn't feel so overwhelming. What I need to do next is create a chore schedule so that everyone has their list of things to do and we can all pitch in as a family, teamwork, get things done, keep our house at a place where it feels comfortable and clean. Like, obviously, I know it's not going to be perfect. That's not a standard that I have, but I just want it to be where we feel peaceful and calm. A clear house is a clear mind. I know that that is the first thing that I put on the back burner when I'm busy doing other stuff. I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if my house is messy. I just need to focus on all these other more important things. But at the end of the day, it matters because I cannot really thrive in other areas when my house is a mess and when I can't think straight. I can't be creative. I can't make content. I can't cook my nutritious meals when my kitchen is a mess, So I have to really drill into myself that this is important. It is a priority, because when I have that under control, I will then be able to do all my other fun things that I want to do. Next up, we have fitness and nutrition. This is probably the area that I have been feeling most like I need to get this under control. I am suffering because I am not prioritizing this. Now, back in 2022 was when I first started my fitness journey, and that was my main goal in life. So I had everything set up. I had my routines, I had my systems, I had my nutrition planned out, meal planning, meal prep, everything was going great. I thrived during that era. But as things do, life got in the way. I got a job. I couldn't work out at my regular times. Things just got a mess. So I am so ready to have that back in order. So this is what I have written down to get back on track with my fitness and nutrition. I have lifting 3 days a week, 4:30 a.m., because that is the only time that it works in my schedule, is to wake up at 4:30 a.m., go to the gym, come back by 6:30, wake up the kids, and start the whole morning routine. I don't have time to go to the gym after they're in school because I'm working on my YouTube channel, which I'll talk about later. So then I've got movement 2 to 3 times a week. So the days that I don't wake up at 4:30 to go to the gym, I'm going to get movement in around my house, like either going on a run or a walk, some kind of cardio. Obviously, I'd like to go into the gym every day, but I'm not waking up at 4:30 every day. So I thought 3 times a week is pretty fair. And then the other days, I will just focus on doing some kind of cardio at home. Next on the list, we have calorie deficit. For years now, I've been tracking macros when I have been having my nutrition on point with a very high protein goal, and I don't feel like it was very sustainable, or I at least have to figure out different strategies. I want to try to figure out how to be in a calorie deficit and maintain a protein goal, but maybe not as extreme, and then also be a little bit more flexible with my carb and fat macros. I don't know. I haven't really thought it through, but that's definitely something that I want to get on board. The next point is to have more vegetables and prepping. I feel like when I first started doing macros, I had a lot of vegetables, a lot of home cooked roasted vegetables, but I got really burnt out of cooking and prepping. So what the last phase looked like was just mostly meat, like meat and frozen vegetables on a plate, which is fine, but I just got sick of it. I got so sick of it all the time. And so this time I want to really get back to my love for vegetables, because I do love vegetables, and I just need to figure out a way to prep upfront so that I don't hit the wall of being too tired to cook vegetables when the time comes to cook dinner. So anyway, I put more vegetables in prepping. And then lastly, I put maintenance cycle, because one thing that has not worked well for me in the past is I will be on a calorie deficit for a really long time, and then I will burn out and just go haywire, and I'll never figure out that maintenance phase, which I think is so important. Obviously, there's going to be times of indulging and vacations and splurging. That is totally fine. It's all about balance. But I want to know what it feels like to just be on a maintenance versus a deficit, or just basically eating like crap, because that's where I feel like is the most sustainable system, is when you get comfortable in that maintenance cycle, and I've never done that. So I want to get into that. Now, I want to kind of give this a little preface that I have a super long story history with diet culture and disordered eating, and it's been a whole roller coaster ride of that. That is literally a whole nother series in itself. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in that, because I definitely have a lot to say about it. Just keep in mind, this has been a long time, a long journey of getting to this point where these are my goals and this is what I feel comfortable doing. Next up, we've got personal style. And this is the one that I'm probably most excited about. And it has just been such a long time that I have wanted to dive into figuring out my style and build a wardrobe. But let me tell you, it has been on the back burner, because number one, it's just, it's expensive. It's hard to figure out how to buy clothes. Not only that, like with sizes and fluctuating sizes and what's available for plus sizes, I just always felt so overwhelmed. I hate going shopping in person. Online shopping is so tricky. It's so disappointing to like order a bunch of clothes and then nothing works and you got to return it. I have ADHD, so returning is a whole nother challenge for me. Basically, I want to get a style. Like, I want to feel good in my clothes. I want to have outfits to wear in high school, in college. Like, I loved playing with fashion and style, and that's something I just have not been able to do in the last few years. So I'm super excited about this one. Let's take a look at the list here. We've got Pinterest board, plan outfits. Obviously, that one is self-explanatory. Create an items shopping list. I want to do this because I know that if I just go shopping, I'm going to just end up with a bunch of random pieces that I have no idea to do with. So I wanted to create an item shopping list so I know exactly which pieces I need. And then I'm going to go thrifting, shopping, and or order clothes. The order clothes I'm trying to steer away from just because it's so tricky. I spend hours like adding things to my cart, and then at the end of the day, I just don't even check out because I don't want to waste the money on things that don't even work, and then I don't have to have that pressure of having to return stuff. So I'm really hoping that I can either thrift and shop for my items, and then I can create a capsule wardrobe. I already have my bottoms pretty much figured out. I just need tops and accessories. And moving on to the next point is career. And this one's very short and sweet, so I'm not gonna go into that too much, but basically it's posting here on YouTube 3 times a week long form, and then 3 times a day short form. Now that might seem a little bit crazy and a little bit extra, but let me tell you, I have been in my flop era for YouTube. I started my YouTube back in September, and I have been flopping. I have been flopping, and then I started a new channel last month, and that has been flopping too. So I'm kind of done with the flopping era, and so my new strategy is to post quantity over quality, because I was focusing on quality before and I still flopped. So I figure I might as well up the quantity and see if that gains me any traction. YouTube has been something that I have been wanting to do and working on for the last 6 years, I believe, since 2019. And then before that, I have probably another decade worth of time trying to make it on social media or dreaming about making it on social media, whether Instagram, blogs, you name it, I've tried to do it. So it's been a long journey for me to figure out my space and my platform and all that kind of stuff. This is my time that I've decided to go all in, and I am just doing everything I can to build this platform and build this community, because all I want to do is make content for you. This community is the most important thing to me right now, and I want to invest in that. I mentioned this a little bit before, but I really want to emphasize that your list may look completely different. Like, I don't want you looking at my list and categories and being like, oh my gosh, like this is so much. This is like way more than I could ever do. And then you think like, oh, I'm just going to be in my flop era forever. No, like if your list is literally just take a walk every day, that is fine. Like, you do what you know you need to do to start making those baby steps to exit your flop era. Like, you do not have to be doing the most. Like, I have a very intense list, but that's only because these are things that I've already worked on for years and months. Like, I've been working on my YouTube for years. I have been doing my fitness since 2022. I have been not cleaning my house. Okay, that's the one area I've not been really working hard on. We're in this together, and we're gonna do this together. Comment down below your game plan. I would love to see what you're planning on working on to exit your flop era. Need any support? I would love to help support you in your journey as well. So let's get to talking. Comment down below. Let's get this ball rolling. Meet me for our next video where we're gonna get into the different topics that I discussed today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. We're gonna do this together, and I am so glad you're here. Mwah!